Alright, guys, today we are talking about breakups, and it's kind of a sensitive topic for at least me because we're gonna be talking about my breakups personally, and that's gonna hopefully you guys can learn something because I'm gonna teach some sort of lesson through it. So that should be fun. So let's get that started. Okay, work. So yeah, but we talk about the breakups that I've gone through, what I've learned from them, and hopefully you guys can learn something too. Um, I would just like to point out that I don't hate any of my exes. I don't have any problems with them. I mean, the last one kind of frustrated me, but that's bound to happen. It's like whatever. I can't really help you with that one. But that's not the point. The point is that what was I gonna say? The fact is that you gotta realize you gotta understand some things after a breakup. You gotta take it as like a learning experience, kind of like I do. That's like the best thing you can do. No matter how much it hurts, you just gotta keep pushing through and make it through. You gotta assess hey, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? What can I change for next time? What can I look for next time to avoid it, or maybe go after it? That's what you want to do. You don't want to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You want to actually try to change. And so that's fun. But quick thing. We're talking about my breakups today. I kind of want to talk about them soon, but I guess today was the day. February 11th, the day after I got broken up with. I got broken up with by my ex, because I got broken up with yesterday on February 10th. So that's fun. But I'm not that kind of person that's like, it's all their fault, whatever. I have some sort of maturity where I realize, hey, I was kind of the problem, and that probably added on to why. But first off, we're gonna start with talking about my first ex, and we're gonna call her. What should I call her? We're gonna stick with my last video's stuff. We're gonna just go by their first name initial, that or the last part of their first name initial, because a few of them have interesting names, so that's fun. This one I can go with the first or last part because the exact same. E. We're gonna call her E, obviously, like I kind of been saying. So E, she and me and her, proper English. Me and her dated for a little over 2.5 months. It was barely um over that, but that's the point. I went into the relationship knowing, because she was moving at the end of that school year, and I was like, all right, I assessed that, in which this all happened last school year, which has been almost a year since me and her got together, which is something. But yeah, E and I, we dated for a few months, broke up in May, the very end of May, borderline June. So, and that's when I went through the stages of grief, first of all, and maybe depression. I was straight up sad boy. I was upset. I was all the mixed emotions, kind of like how I feeling like right now. Not mixed emotions right now. I just feel like I want to hang out with my friends. That's it. But I felt upset, sad, whatever, and that was not fun. And it was summertime because the school year just ended, and I didn't have any friends to go to, so it was just me dealing with it. So all I did all summer was ride my bike. That helped me get through it. After 2 weeks, I remember this because it was the exact 2 week mark after I told my friend, after I haven't hung out with him in about I hadn't seen him for a few weeks at that point. So then we hung out, and I was like, "Yo, me and her broke up," and he was like, "Oh, dang, that's unfortunate or whatever," and I was like, "Yeah," and after that, I was like, oh yeah, today's our 2-week mark of being broken up. And he was like, oh, that's a weird milestone to remember. And I was like, yeah, it is. And that on that 2-week mark, I got hit by a car. That is a different story for a different day, which might come out tomorrow. But yeah, I was hit by a car exactly 2 weeks after me and her broke up. After she broke up with me, actually, and that wasn't very fun. And she obviously, and going back a little bit, she obviously did the more mature thing. She broke up with me in the most civil way possible. And then she basically said something along the lines of like, "Hey, I'm moving. I don't want to hurt you or anything, but we should probably break up because I don't want to do long distance." And I was like, all right, that's upsetting. And I was like, why not? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then later, a little bit, and then, like, I knew in hindsight, she blocked me, but it was that hope that, like, she didn't, you know? She obviously blocked me, for sure. So that was fun, and then it was almost a month after. Trying to film a video, bro. Anyways, I don't remember what I tried to thought. Yeah, but me and E broke up. Our relationship was a decent one, I guess. She taught me a lot, like how to have a relationship, what to do in a relationship, what to look for, all that. She taught me all those lessons, like especially after the fact. I was like, huh, that does make sense, I guess. And I took that, and when I went into my next school year, which is this one, about 3-ish months later, actually no, it was like 4 to 5. It was like 4 months later, after me and her broke up, I got with someone else, and we're gonna be calling her A. And A, she and her and I dated for about 2 weeks. Well, technically, if we're being realistic, and like when she actually said, all right, I think we're done, it was about 2.5 weeks, but it was about 2 weeks. That relationship ended on a weird note, and she broke up with me because I was saying things I definitely shouldn't have been saying, especially that because it was freaking her out. Because I was saying I was saying that I accidentally scratched myself with something, and then I kept saying it and kept saying it or whatever, and then she was like I'm not dealing with this, I'm done, and I was like, oh dang, and so after that I realized, okay, maybe you shouldn't be trying to seek attention. There's other ways to get it, stuff like that, and take that lesson, move on. That's what I did, and I moved on faster from that one because I knew the lessons from last time, which was actually very helpful. And then I also rode my bike to get me out of it. But this one is me. This last one that happened, it was about 3 months after my last relationship. Me and her dated for about almost 3 months. Our 3-month mark would have been like next week, I think. Yeah, next week. Next week and 1 day. A week and 1 day is when our 3-month would have been, bro. And that is just like inconvenient. Like very inconvenient, bro. It is like really. But because A broke up with me after 2 weeks. Learned some things there. But actually, continuing A's quick little recap thing. She was like a weird one because that was her first boyfriend, and I could kind of tell because she like hardly texted. She like didn't really seem like she wanted me around, but then like she also did. Like sometimes she'd be like, eh, like she'd be iffy, and then other times she'd be very like kind of like all over me, I guess. Like she was fine with whatever, and I was like, this is weird. And then we broke up, obviously, and now M, from yesterday's video, we called her M. M was a very, very interesting, bro. I really liked them all 3 of them. I liked all 3 of them very much. Clearly, I dated them. M was definitely the best one I've dated so far because we had that mutual agreement and we talked over like boundaries, stuff like that at the very beginning of our relationship on purpose, and that really helped. It shows me that like that's more of a mature mindset, because I was like, hey, what are you okay with, not okay with in a relationship, which I did with my last relationship. And M was like, oh yeah, I'm fine with pretty much everything. There's like a few exceptions, but I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I was like, pretty much the same, but that's not the point. Let's set those boundaries and stuff at the very beginning. We dated for almost 3 months, like I said, and me and M just broke up. She broke up with me, which I have a lot more to talk about M, because E and A were they were just like normal relationships. Well, E was in like a more normal relationship. We would hang out every once in a while at our old school, stuff like that. And A, we would hang out during school hours. We'd text after school, but that's about it. And then M, I went to her house twice, right? Yeah, I went to her house twice, and we would hang out there sometimes, and we mainly hang out at school though, and we text and call all the time. She broke up with me, and I will admit, I am more than willing to admit it. I would consider my last two, at least the last two, definitely my fault. A and M, the reason they broke up with me, well, M, this is a different story. That kind of yesterday's video will explain that more, but I'll kind of give a brief explanation for M's. A, not E. E, that was completely on her. A, she had the right to do that. I was saying stuff that really freaked her out, and it was not okay with her, so she made the smart decision and got away from it. So I am not glad she did it, but I am like that's a good thing to do. That's a very mature thing to do. But M, at first, the reason I thought she was going to break up with me yesterday is because she texted me 2 days ago saying how she thinks I haven't been trying a relationship because I don't really ask to call her. She usually asks to call, or she's like, hey, you want to call? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you don't want to talk to my parents and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh. And then she was like, I'm also losing feelings for you. And I was like, wow, that's a lot just in one message. And I was like, anyways, what the heck? I was like, okay, that's interesting. And yesterday she broke up with me, and then she said, hey, it's not you, it's me, because she wanted to eat lunch by herself. She was like, hey, and she broke up through text with me when we were in the same school. She could have just came up to me and broke up with me in person, which I would prefer she would do, because it's like more of a mature thing to do. But she texted me, hey, it's not your fault, it's mine. It's not you, it's me. I'm sorry. I don't really like you. I kind of lost feelings for you. Hopefully we can be friends, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's not ideal. I was stressed out more that yesterday morning before we broke up than I was after the breakup or during it. Before, my anxiety, I had like 6 anxiety attacks. I was freaking out because I didn't know what I was going to do if we did break up, and I was like freaking out, and then we did, and I was like, oh, I'm fine. And I was hanging out with my friends, we were laughing and joking, I was trying to get over it, and then she sent me that, and I was like, oh. And I was like, God dang it, man. I was sitting down, and I'm like, God dang it, man. And I was like, you know what? I don't care enough. I was like, you know what? I'll be fine. And I sat back down, we were all loafing. We were all laughing and joking. And I was like, oh, I am good. And I was like so weirded out. And I'm pretty sure the exact moment when I said I'll be fine or something like that, like I'll be good, is when my brain was like, all right, we're just going to be fine for now on. It only started to a little bit affect me the past like hour maybe. And even then, it's like I just thought of something else and I was fine. And I'm like, hey, it's like whatever. But the last 2 days after our breakup, well, day and a half, I was just dancing around, having fun, dancing, joking with my friends. They were like, how are you not sad or depressed or anything? And I was like, no clue. And they were like, you should be. And I was like, I don't feel like depressed is a good word for it. Sad, yes, but I'm just joking around having fun. And I don't see a problem with that. And they thought, they kind of think that I'm hiding it, which I'm not really. I won't lie. I'm not really hiding anything right now. I mean, like, a little bit, but even then I'm like, I'll be fine. Like, I'm good, and I usually, if I'm sad about something, I will be affected for into another day if it's that bad, like this big, like a relationship breaking up and getting broken up with, or something, and I'll show it the next day. I'll be silent, whatever. But I feel like if I'm hanging out with my friends right now, I'll just be doing the same thing, like, yeah, I'm having fun. But that's not, that's not the point right now. Well, that is the point. So we broke up yesterday, obviously, almost a 3-month relationship. But one thing that I did want to point out that I do find, for at least me, it was immature. Like, I kind of regret it, but also not really. I'll probably regret it later. I won't lie. But she put on her TikTok and Instagram story yesterday after we got home from school, and she said, she made a quick little video. If you saw yesterday's video, if you watched it, then this makes more sense. She had something I got for her for Christmas, and she said my dog got to it, which I'm pretty sure she ripped it up. And then it said in the corner, like, my ex gave me this, and she decided to post that and then block me after I already saw it. And so today, what I did was I was kind of petty back and kind of pulled a move where I was like, that was very childish, I'm not gonna lie. Because I've been, like, happy and dancing and stuff like that, just having fun. I made it very obvious towards her that I was fine. In our last class of the day today, I was telling one of my friends that sits right next to her when I was across the classroom, loud enough where she could hear it. I was like, I'm doing great. I don't know why I'm not sad or anything. I feel great. I'm a happy dude. Like, I'm happy right now, bro. I'm just dancing, I'm just minding my own business, whatever. And she was definitely upset at that. And, oh yeah, also today, this morning, she gave me my jacket back because she had it last week, which was another thing. Like, she wanted my jacket last week when she stopped liking me. What the heck? But I gave her my jacket. She gave me it back today. She threw it to, we were like this far, which is not really good depth perception. It's like my waistband, and I'm 5'8", so like 2 of my waistband. We were pretty far from each other. Where when she threw it, I had to like lean down and catch it before it landed on the concrete. And she was definitely wearing it when she had it. I could tell. And she was like, hey, here. She said my name. And she was like, here. And I was like, what? She was like, hey. And I was like, what? And she was like, here. She threw it to me. I caught it. I was like, whoa. And my friend, me and my friend were walking into the school. And he was like, she looked mad. And I was like, that's weird. I haven't done anything to her. And yet. And then we made it all the way throughout the day. And then our 7th period, I was making it very obvious, and I could tell by her face, she was like kind of like a jealous, mad, like a sad looking reaction to it. And I was like, to be fair, you broke up with me and then proceeded to make a video. And I was like, dude, bye. And she didn't say anything at all. So I was like, okay, whatever. But today, in my first period, what the heck? I showed my friends the video because I screen recorded it because she did that very, very much in a messed up way. And my friend, plural, my friends were like, that's a very petty thing to do and like a very messed up thing to do. And I was like, exactly. And I was like, very uncalled for too because I did nothing to her. I was genuinely like, brother. I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna do, every time I see her, I'm just gonna be super happy and excited and just like, full of joy every time I see her now. Which I'll obviously do, it's just not as obvious as today. Like, if she's walking by, I'll just be like, talking to my friends, smiling, maybe dancing or whatever, and if she sees me doing it, that's on her. She's the one that's looking at me. And if she asks me out, not gonna lie, I'll consider it. I might say yes, because I do like her still. But that's not here nor there. But I will question her. I'll be like, you broke up with me, saying you didn't like me anymore, and all this, and now you're still gonna break up? Then you're still gonna come after me again? Like, why? But also, my friends kind of pointed out to me, I didn't realize this, and this could be wrong, but if it's right, which I would assume, because it's definitely more of a possibility, I didn't give her the reaction she wanted, because yesterday it was our normal day, our normal scheduled day, and she was more serious, like talking to her friend, trying to I'm pretty sure get her mind off of it. And I was just talking to my friends, joking, dancing, laughing, just like today. I just didn't do it in her face, and I was all good. I even asked my friend, I was like, I even told my friend, I was like, I don't know why I'm so energetic and happy right now, bro. And I don't think she liked that very much. I don't think she liked my reaction to when she broke up with me, because she seems very not per se jealous, I guess. She seems like that. So that's where we are now, and that's very interesting to me. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. It's just I don't know how long this video is. Ooh, it's only 14 minutes. Nice. Oof. Yeah, but it's all for today. I just want to talk about my breakups real quick. This last one was the most recent, and the one that I had the weirdest thing with, the weirdest interaction thing with, and that was interesting. Oh yeah, my old ex, actually both of them, I guess, but the first one, asked me if I was okay and stuff, because she started dating this kid, and then we both ended up in the same school, and now we're best friends. And then she texted me, she was like, hey, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. She was like, no, you're not. And I was like, no, really, I am. I'll probably be affected later, but that's teaching me problems. And she was like, all right, if you need anything, he can be there for you. And then and I was like, that doesn't sound like him at all, because he's a very fun, joking, laughing, kind of nonchalant kid. And I'm like, there's no way. And then he texted me 5 seconds later. He was like, yeah, if you need anything, I'm here. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good to know. So, and a lot of my friends do that too, a lot. Even one of my old friends that they're not friends anymore. We're not friends anymore, but I'm okay with talking to him in school and stuff, just not hanging out after school or anything. And he was like, hey, if you need anything, I can give you some advice, whatever. And I'm like, all right. So all my friends, old friends, whatever, everybody was like, are you okay? Which is so weird to me. I'm pretty sure it's because I keep getting told this by many people. This isn't me just being self-absorbed. It's because everybody is like, yeah, you're a really good friend and all that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks. I'm not used to hearing that. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm like, you're not such a bad friend either. We're all great friends here. But, if you went through a breakup, I'd be there for you. And that's the whole thing. And it's but my other ex, she was like, you guys actually broke up? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, surprisingly, I'm not freaking out like I usually do. And she was like, that's weird. And I was like, yeah. So there's that. And she might like me still. Again, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like her too. It's a weird situation. It's she asked me to date again. I'll probably say yes, I won't lie. But even right now, it's kind of too soon. So if she does, hopefully it's at least a month later. Because me and M started dating a month after me and A broke up, so that's not ideal. But anyways, I think that's it. That's all for today's video. Have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Have fun today. Don't do anything stupid. Just overall have fun, have a great day, and like and subscribe if you want to. I ain't gonna force you to do nothing. Bye!